I'm going to show you guys what the Trump effect looks like around the world. You know the misogynist Donald Trump? He just appointed the first female chief of staff in history. No other female in history has held that role. Taliban, well, they said they want a new chapter with the Trump administration. Vladimir Putin, well, he's ready to talk. Mexico, well, they're tightening up their border security now. They're only doing this because Trump said he's going to implement a 25% tariff because of the border security issues. Essentially, anything that flows from Mexico into the US, it's going to cost them 25%. That's going to hurt their economy, so now they're taking it seriously, even though it was their problem to fix and they could have done it easily. The Saudi Crown Prince, well, he reached out to Donald Trump, and those two, they actually have a great relationship and a great respect for one another. That's a good signal for lower gas prices. And guess what New York is doing all of a sudden? They just announced yesterday that they're going to stop giving debit cards to migrants. You know those illegal immigrants that came into the country that get free hotel stays? Well, they got free money too. Manufacturers and retailers like Steve Madden, they're changing their production. They're no longer going to be manufacturing everything in China because they're going to try to avoid Trump's tariffs. This woman right here, that's the head of the EU. They said that the EU is now considering replacing Russian, which is expensive liquefied natural gas imports, with those from the US. And as we all know, Hamas, they drew the white flag. They want to talk peace now because they're dismayed by Trump's win. And now they're asking Donald Trump to stop the war. Even the markets see the crazy positivity with Trump being in office now. This, for the S&P 500, in 1 week is insane and unheard of. The same goes for Tesla, which went up 32% in less than 3 days. And honestly, I don't care. I'm so happy for Elon Musk. He made about $40 billion, which essentially covers the cost that he bought Twitter for, and in my opinion, saved free speech. And that right there is the Trump effect.
The city will no longer issue vouchers to migrants to pay for food, ending a controversial program that had repeatedly come under attack by conservatives and others.
This pilot program in New York City, drenched in both humanity and controversy, distributed debit cards to migrant families staying in city-funded hotels and allowing them to buy their own food. Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einier following the breaking news for us. Josh?
Well, Bill, it's a program that, as you say, generated plenty of controversy, but now its absence may raise even more questions. The so-called Immediate Response Cards pilot program was designed to help feed migrant families who'd found themselves in New York with no way to afford food. The one-year contract provided what the city described as culturally relevant food to 2,600 migrant families, allowing them to basically buy what they wanted. A family of four with two kids under 5 got about $350 per week to cover food in a program the city said would actually save taxpayers millions a year. It also reduced food waste. You may remember the food the city had been providing in migrant shelters was seen as not culturally sensitive to the needs of some migrant groups, and it ended up just going to waste. For more than a year, the city was groaning under the weight of more than 200,000 asylum seekers. Officials say the migrant population has actually reduced lately. In fact, a massive shelter on Roosevelt Island is in the process of closing. In the meantime, Mayor Adams spoke on the phone yesterday with President-elect Donald Trump, who had vowed during his campaign to mass deport migrants. Aside from congratulating him on his win, though, Adams today would not say what they discussed.
Well, boy, what's going on, family? Shout out to them Patriots, my brothers and sisters around the world. Y'all see what's happening, man. It's only been, 5-6 days. You see everything that is taking place, man. How things are just falling in line. I told y'all. It's falling in line, man. And more news is hitting the fan about this administration, about the cabinet, but they are not effing around, man. People are scared, terrified. They getting their act together. Yeah. A leader's back. Yeah, common sense is back. Trying to turn some things around. And it's only been 5 to 6 days, man, after President Trump becomes the 47th president of the United States, man. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Try to tell y'all. I wish y'all listened to me, man. I wish y'all listened to me. Time to turn the page. What she say? What that lady say? We're gonna turn the page. You're going to mind your business, Mr. Trump, Mr. Vance. Y'all repeat after me. We're going to turn the page. Turn the page. They out there talking to voters like little kids. Told you, it don't work that way. It don't swing that way. Sorry. Tampon Tim, stolen valid Tim. Did we go to China, Tim? Tim, did we go to China? I don't know. But it was nice knowing you, buddy. Nice knowing you. Don't drop the tampon on the floor. Amen.
Welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, I guess Donald Trump wasn't so crazy after all, now was he? You know, that typical Trump campaigning style, elect me and I'm gonna make mountains move. It's just gonna happen, you gotta trust me.
Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, I will have the disastrous war between Russia and Ukraine settled. It will be settled quickly.
Before I even step into office, I'm gonna make this thing happen. It's the type of rhetoric that makes the pseudo-intellectuals in the media lose their mind. They essentially call him a nutcase every time he says something like this. But then, of course, Donald Trump actually gets elected, and we're right back to the first thing that I said in the video. Now it's so crazy after all, huh? It hasn't even been a week since Donald Trump has gained the title President-elect, once again for the second time, and already many of the big ambitious promises that Donald Trump presented in his incredible 2024 campaign seem to be coming to fruition, or at least the puzzle pieces are starting to be put into place. The dominoes have started to fall, and it's now been dubbed the Trump effect. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, friends, so I didn't exactly go into detail in that intro, but I'm sure you'll understand it's pretty clear. I present to you the Trump effect.
Donald Trump's not even president yet, and have you seen what's happened in the last 48 hours? The misogynist appoints the first ever woman to be chief of staff. The Taliban announced they want peace with America and to be taken off the terrorist list. Putin came out and said that Western civilization is not an enemy. Mexico has started securing the border in, of course, response to tariff threats. Saudi Arabia is kicking out all of their Hamas leaders. New York is cleaning up their illegal migrant crisis. Xi Jinping came out and said he wants to peacefully coexist with China and said that they respect American people. The European Union chief finally came out and said, hey, America, can we start buying LNG from you so they stop buying from Russian gas? Putin says he takes Donald Trump's plan to end the war with Ukraine very seriously, and Russia supports it. The Houthis are stepping back. The Hamas called for an immediate end to war. He's calling for term limits in from Congress so that way people like Nancy Pelosi stop being forever members. Stock markets and crypto hit all-time highs.
What's it been, 4 or 5 days? Donald Trump isn't even president yet, he's president-elect. It's been 4 days as I'm recording this video and 5 days as you're seeing this video, and already it feels like the world is healing already. Frankly, it feels like America standing on the world stage is actually making a difference for the first time in 3 years and 10 months. You know, just like that, all of a sudden, America has an impact on the world. I wonder what that could be. Well, of course, you're probably already thinking it. It's called strong, competent leadership, and most importantly, presence. Donald J. Trump has just been elected as 47th president of the United States, and instantly it's as if the planet hit a reset button. The reports are streaming in from every corner of the globe, and conflicts that have dragged on now for years are suddenly cooling down. Adversaries are talking about peace, and nations are aligning in a way that we haven't seen in a long time. And why is that the case? Because people know that they finally have to get in line. No more blank check for your deepest and wild ambitions. No longer the Cheney warmongering approach of we'll fight this thing no matter how long it takes and no matter how many people die. No, now it's the Trump approach.
Can you say if you want Ukraine or Russia to win this war?
I want everybody to stop dying. They're dying. Russians and Ukrainians. I want them to stop dying.
He just wants people to stop dying. And of course, it's beyond the sentiment. It's most importantly that people know he's serious, and he's going to put his foot down to make sure it happens. Both sides understand this. I mean, let's just talk Ukraine for an instance. The moment Trump gets elected, both sides know they have to play ball. They have to come to the negotiating table because Trump holds leverage on both of them, and they know that he's going to use it. Not blah, blah, blah and pretend, like the previous administration, canceling their own Keystone XL pipeline project while greenlighting the Russians. Oh, we're being real hard on Putin as they allow him to continue selling billions of dollars of energy to Europe, funding the exact war that they're funding on the other side. I mean, it's idiotic. Well, now the adults are back in charge. And Trump's serious when he says he wants the conflict to end so the world can focus on moving forward and prospering. He's focused on the people prospering, not the military-industrial complex prospering. It's a different approach. Previous American administrations have always taken this hardline stance, this hard-ass stance. You're gonna do as we say or else, and it's always escalated issues abroad. This sort of world policing, imposing your own beliefs on foreign nations, and waging war if they don't comply. You know, maybe following the rise of communism, there was a certain value to it, but at this point, I think a lot of people are understanding that it's time to stop meddling in other people's affairs. Trying a different approach of using American might, not to force the world into submission, but to force the world to come to the negotiating table, to slowly and diplomatically get foreign nations to start playing ball. It's that age-old saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Trump understands this. And look, the typical warhawk types seem to despise it. They think it's a bad strategy that's going to backfire. But at this point, I think the reaction from a lot of people is, well, you know, what you've been doing for the last however many decades hasn't exactly been working. You know, the risk of World War III and all. And so how long do you keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results? I think there's just a general embrace for really any shift in approach. People like the Trump approach. He may not be achieving the quick results that a military conquest would achieve, but who knows, maybe things get better over time. And just think about the last however many decades. It's not like the American war machine is winning any of these wars and bringing peace and stability to any of these regions. They seem involved in what's called forever wars, endless wars. And you know, it feels almost as if this time the world understands Trump's intentions, and people are already getting on board. And if that's the case, I mean, what does it all mean for the American people? Well, it means potentially entering an era of renewed focus on American interests, real peace deals, and of course what follows during times of peace, economic prosperity. I don't know about you guys, but I have a heightened sense of optimism. It feels like this time, Trump's going in this thing with less obstruction and a clear mandate. He has an opportunity to deliver on his promise to truly make America great again in a way that goes beyond rhetoric. Imagine what can be accomplished if Trump is actually able to govern here without the relentless obstruction that plagued his first term. Imagine if we see an end to these wars and a start of America for the first time in a long time looking within. We're talking revitalizing the economy, securing the border, strengthening alliances, and truly putting America first, and hopefully leading the world by example. Not forcing American values on the rest of the world, but rather showing the world exactly what America is all about. I don't know, like I just said, I feel like I have this incredible sense of optimism right now. It feels like there's a psychological realignment. Like Trump derangement syndrome is at an all-time low, and people just know what to expect, and it's almost as if, you know, common sense is prevailing. Actually, as I'm recording this, I'm scrolling Twitter, and look what pops up on my timeline.
I do think that Europe needs to take more responsibility, but this is probably one of the incentives also to start ending the war or trying to find some kind of a peace settlement.
Yes.
I think the money funnels at the end of the day are going to be a little bit more in a win-win situation because, of course, when the war is over, it's going to be all about reconstruction. And suddenly we're going to start seeing a lot of companies, European, American, and others, who want to come and do the reconstruction of Ukraine. But I do think that Europeans understand that we have to take more responsibility, but we will survive, and we will survive together with the United States.
It's been 4 days and the president of Finland is now finally talking about Europe taking responsibility and that it's now time to call an end to the war. 4 days as president-elect and he's already accomplished some of his biggest promises, and it seems almost as if he's accomplished more than Joe Biden and Kamala did in 4 years. It's that Trump magic, baby. They call it crazy, but every single time, fast forward a couple months, a couple years, and we're right back in the same position, saying the same damn thing. We frickin' told you so. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got.
Yeah, buddy. We told you so. Yes, indeed, man. They had 4 years. Trump's been there for 4 days. Man. You just can't make it up, y'all. You just can't make it up. And I know everybody's talking about Mitch McConnell from planting his rhino. Gotta stop Mitch McConnell. Gotta stop Mitch McConnell. Yeah, it's a whole big thing with Rick Scott. I mean, there's a whole lot going on, y'all. We're gonna bring y'all an update to that as well. You know, everybody talking about the rhinos, neocons, and you know, we I told y'all, yeah, we gonna put it all out there, and it's all gonna come down to, you know, President Trump putting his foot down. We the people have already spoken, man. You know, we got a strong leader now. We had a weak leader, weak country, but now we got a strong leader, strong country now, man. It's a huge difference with these Republicans. I'm telling you. And Trump is coming in there. He ain't finna. I'm telling you, they not finna F around, man. They not finna F around. I love to see things just falling in place, man. Things just happening, you know, and it's only been 4, 5, 6 days. Difference is clear. I told y'all the difference is clear. I tried telling y'all. Some of y'all came in the comments trash talking me, saying this and that, but you know, now people are just complete silent. I wonder why. I wonder why. But I love y'all. We wish you the best on all you guys' life. Let me know what y'all think of all this, man. You know, hey, we got a big thing coming up this Wednesday. I know President Biden and Trump are gonna be meeting on Wednesday. It's a lot of things going on, man. They already picking positions, and everything's happening fast, man. But I love y'all, and I will catch you beautiful people in the next one. Peace and love, y'all.